Backing safely. You may not consider backing to be very hazardous, but it's a fact that it's the cause of a large number of collisions, a disproportionate number. And although speeds are normally low, these collisions not only create inconveniences, they cause significant property damage and even personal injury. Let's look at why most backing collisions occur. First, since we back our vehicles very little in comparison to the amount of time we drive forward, we have less experience driving backward. Second, we never have as good a view of our path as when we drive forward. In addition, backing is normally done at a confined location, such as a driveway. There are often hazards which don't normally appear in other locations, and in this case, it could just as well be a child as this toy. In other confined locations where you might be backing, such as into a parking place or a small side street, there may be other obstacles, including pedestrians, light poles, and retaining walls, which may be difficult to see. Fortunately, there are precautions you can take to minimize your chances of having a collision while backing. The first precaution is obvious, but often ignored. Try to avoid backing whenever possible. Think about how you can reduce the number of times that you must back each day. For instance, try to park your car so that you won't have to back when leaving. At a gas station, position yourself so the gas pumps are on the same side as your car's fuel tank, and pull close enough to the pump so you won't have to reposition your vehicle. Stop far enough from the vehicle in front so you can see the other vehicle's rear tires touching the pavement when you are stopping at an intersection. If you must pull around the vehicle when traffic starts, you will not have to back up first. Of course, there are situations where you may decide to back into a location. In these situations, it's important to follow specific techniques to make your back as safe as possible. Let's analyze the specific steps to backing safely in a typical situation. Slow well before the area you intend to back into, and put your turn signal on. This will give drivers behind you a chance to slow down before you stop. Scan the area for hazards and note any obstacles. Look for high curbs or wheel stops, broken glass, anything that might be hazardous. Notice that the driver has approached with the backing area to the driver's side. This will give the driver a better view of the area behind while backing. In contrast, when backing to the passenger side, the vehicle partially blocks your view of the backing area. Stop just beyond the backing area. Other drivers will more easily recognize your intention to back if you stop close to the spot. Lower your window slightly and turn off your radio and vent fan to reduce interior noise. This way, you will hear warnings from pedestrians and other drivers more easily. Check your rearview mirrors and over your left shoulder. If clear, put your vehicle in reverse, keeping your foot on the brake. Don't back without turning in your seat. Using only your mirrors does not give as good a view of your path as turning and looking over your shoulder. Back slowly. If your vehicle has an automatic transmission, you may not need to use the accelerator pedal. Often the idle speed is fast enough. If this is the case, keep your foot over the brake pedal instead. Doing so will enable you to stop quickly if necessary. Continue backing as long as you are sure that your path is safe. Turn the wheel in the direction you wish to travel. Keep in mind that when the vehicle turns, the front end has a tendency to swing out of your travel path. It may be helpful to stop and turn forward to check around the front of your vehicle, as well as checking your side mirrors. They will give you a different view of your path and may reveal an obstacle that you missed. Also, shifting in your seat to change your view, both through your mirrors and while looking over your shoulder, will let you see your path and any hazards from a different angle. However, remember, anytime you are moving backwards, you should be scanning to the rear. If you follow these steps whenever you back, you are well on your way to reducing the chances of having a collision. These steps give you specific techniques that will improve your backing technique and help to ensure a better view of your path of travel. When you have to back out of a parking space, have your keys out ahead of time. Check the area as you approach to make sure there is nothing underneath the vehicle or the tires. Check the back seat area to be sure it is empty. Place any items you are carrying on the floor or wherever they cannot fall over or otherwise become a distraction while driving. A final check behind for any obstacles. Don't assume that everything is clear now just because it was when you parked the car. As soon as you are in, lock the doors. Also, make sure you have put on your safety belt. Slightly open your window and make sure the radio is off so you can hear any warnings. When you are ready to back, check your mirrors and over both shoulders. Then, putting your left hand on top of the steering wheel, turn and look over your right shoulder. Always look in the direction your vehicle is moving. Back slowly, stopping briefly to check the front before you begin turning into the aisle. Then turn to look rearward before finishing your backing. Backing with a trailer. Many drivers have difficulties backing a vehicle with a trailer. This maneuver is difficult for several reasons. The total length and bulk of the vehicle-trailer combination is much greater than your vehicle by itself, making it that much harder to see behind. However, the biggest problem is that your vehicle and the trailer are joined by a hinge. When you back, your vehicle is pushing the trailer, and the hinge, which is your hitch, allows the trailer to move to either side. It takes practice to be able to control the side-to-side swing of the trailer. However, there are specific techniques that can help you back a trailer successfully and safely. First, always check your intended path when backing with a trailer. This is very important because the end of the trailer is a considerable distance away and may block your vision. Also, the dimensions of the trailer may be different than those of your vehicle. It may be higher, lower, wider, etc. Keep this in mind when checking out your path. When both vehicles are in a line and you want to turn as you back, the trailer will move in the opposite direction as the back of your vehicle. For example, if both vehicles are straight and you would like to back the trailer to the left or the driver's side, you will have to move the wheel to the right or clockwise. Doing so will swing the vehicle's rear to the right and the trailer's rear to the left. If you find it difficult to think in terms of opposite directions, you can move your left hand to the bottom of the steering wheel. Now, when you back the trailer while looking over your right shoulder, simply move your hand and the wheel in the direction you want the trailer to go. For example, if you want the trailer to move left, begin backing and move the steering wheel to the left. Be careful not to jackknife the trailer, getting your vehicle and the trailer at right angles to each other. Since turning is amplified with the trailer, you can suddenly discover that the trailer is turning too quickly. One tip to remember is that shorter trailers seem to react to turns more quickly than longer trailers, and mistakes may be more magnified. The farther the trailer's wheels are from the hitch, the easier a trailer is to back. If your vehicle and trailer are hopelessly pointing in the wrong direction, it is helpful to pull forward to straighten the vehicle and trailer out and start again. To avoid jackknifing, back slowly and be ready to quickly correct the trailer's direction.
Hey Frank, when you want the trailer to stop, give me the signal like this.
A helper is especially valuable when backing a trailer. Before starting, advise the helper about where and how far you are going to back. Second, both of you must agree ahead of time on hand signals for stop, left, right, continue backing, and how much farther. Also decide whether the signals for left and right apply to your vehicle or the trailer. Also use hand signals for communication, since you may not hear or may misinterpret verbal commands. Next, make sure the helper is positioned so he can see your travel path and you can see your helper. To the rear and to the driver's side is often a good location. Never have the helper stand directly behind. Whenever you lose sight of your helper, stop. Begin again only when you can see your helper and he is in a safe location. Keep in mind, however, that even with a helper, you are the person responsible for backing safely. If in doubt, stop and check for yourself. Do not rely completely on a helper. Many drivers are not particularly concerned about backing, since they assume not much can go wrong when they're moving so slowly. Unfortunately, this mistaken assumption and driver carelessness have resulted in considerable property damage and lost time, and in some cases, serious injuries to people both outside and inside the vehicles.